taitoziva kuti kuna sekuru vanoti vakauya vaisiya mazai kana enyoka to hatch, and then vachingoenda that day you could see a big snake. The journey starts when my mom passes on, when I was actually 9. I remember my father, the day my mom passed on, Musi namo, my father was actually chained nana sekuru. He was chained, kusungwa nechain chaiko chaiko, vakasungirirwa vachinzi ndiye vauraya mwana wedu.
Tinofara kuva nemi pano paDestiny TV pachirongwa My Story. Zita rangu ndinonzi Stella Muusha. Muchirongwa chino tinokuunzirai vanhu vane nyaya dzavakararama, dzavari kurarama. Dzimwe dzenyaya idzi dzinofadza, dzimwe dzinosuvisa, dzinochemedza, asiwo dzimwe dzacho tinodzidza kubva madziri. Nhasi uno mustudio tina Katiso Moyo. Asi ndiri kunzwa futi pane pamwe panonzi bishop. Muri bishop wechechi ipi?
Chekutanga, I want to thank you for the opportunity to such a wonderful program. Katiso Moyo is not a bishop. The term bishop rikuya because Katiso is multitasked. Katiso is known as a soccer player. Katiso is known maybe as a musician. Katiso is known maybe as a very good teacher in the commercial subjects. So the multitasking now it leads to the birth of bishop. That I'm now recognizing it.
So it's like a nickname.
Yes. It's a nickname. It's a nickname for sure. And at first I couldn't take it because, you know, in communities you end up people treating you with respect where you feel like you don't deserve it. Sometimes but you can't scream because the title is bigger than your character. So at first I struggled taking it, but with time, with maturity, as you grow, I ended up taking it to say, no, this is actually who I am. And when I fully materialized to become a teacher, then I started appreciating more that, no, it's okay, bishop. It's bishop.
Ko iro zita rekutoti Katiso chirudzii rinorevei?
All right. Katiso means increment. I'm actually Sutu. Nayabulela kasi Sutu. I'm coming from a family where it's a multiracial family. The mother is Venda. The father is Sutu. So we are growing up in a community in Beitbridge. We're coming from Shashe. So it's a mixed place where we have Sutu, we have Ndebele, we have Venda. So now comes why maybe tichitaura languages akati one day.
Yeah, come to think of that. How many languages do you speak?
I actually speak 7 languages.
Wow.
7 languages.
Okay.
Sure.
Can you just greet everyone in those 7 languages? Kuitira kuti vakateerera zvinezvika vachakunzwa in those languages, just a greeting. And then after this interview, you start teaching me some of this. Because sure. Next interview yangu pamwe ndichazoita in one of the languages you'd have taught me.
Yeah, sure. Dumelani batu. Uitani sabona how are you? Makadi Tebelega.
So what are those languages?
Yes, I'm just mixing Debele, Venda, Sutu, Shona, of course, English, and then I had to mix a language we grew up just mixing to say, no, we can have like, I'm recognizing it that
as a language.
Yeah, as a language. Sure.
You are talking about growing up. Where was this?
I actually grew up in Bedbridge. Like I said, Veleshash. So yes, there's a time where you feel like everything is okay, and just like any other normal kid, you have access to any basic that you say, no, I'm someone who's living a normal life. But now the journey starts when my mom passes on, when I was actually 9. Um, it means I have a father, and the father is working from a distant place in Harare, and he was a soldier, by the way, in the Zimbabwe National Army, and my mom was based there in Bedbridge. So yes, now the father has a role to ensure that the upbringing of kids is not compromised in any other way. So,
how many were you in your family, and what number were you?
Yes, we were actually 5. I'm actually the third born. Yes. So kunewo vamwe vanga vati travelei in terms of progress. The 2 vari pamberi pangu. The first born was actually a teacher. The second born was a soldier. So before then, vanga vasati what they became. So my sister now got married. Now my brother was still at school. So we were the youngest. Kune vadiki vangu vasara. So Baba now took us to Harare, where he was working at. That is how I got exposed to the capital city, where we came directly to Heathcliff, which became a bigger part of my upbringing in terms of sighting and how things unfolded. So pamwe pacho, it's good to thank God for the opportunity that maybe you would have provided during the time. Like my father, I think even till date he is one of the strongest men. I can always point to say I'm this because he has always been a father. Maybe the decision to marry again was based on the love he wanted to show us. Vana vachiri vadiki, they cannot manage. Let me look for a wife who would look after these kids here and there.
I'm looking at a man who would say, ndikuda kutsvaga munhu wekuchengeta vana vangu.
Yeah,
just imagine you are a woman and then
sure.
kuchengeta vana. I think this is me.
Okay.
I think even him, he also needed the love. Yeah, and then he found someone he loved, and then looking after the kids became a bonus.
Kana muri vana vadiki kunouya na tete, kunouya na bamudiki bamukuru. Yes, munei muri vana vadiki, but sometimes you overhear these conversations. You a shepherd ausikuona kuti vana vako vachiri vadiki ava. Iwewe you cannot provide the same love of a mother. Don't you think it's the right time? Yes.
Exactly. I want to take you back. How old were you when your mother passed on?
Yes, I was actually turning 9.
You were turning 9?
Yes, I was turning 9.
And 9 we are looking at grade 3.
Yeah, grade 3.
Pamwe kutonyatsogeza munhu asati akunyatsoogona zvese mai vari kuwachira vari kubikira vari kuita zvese.
Very true.
How was it like?
Yeah, what I can say in short is that amai ndimai, there is never a perfect replacement or substitute for a mother. Even though vakauya in a package, well decorated, the love of a mother will always be the love of a mother. So maybe the reason why everyone will always be stepmother vanga vasingaiti stepmother vaindirova stepmother say. But in my case, I don't want to point at large to say I never got the love of a mother, but I believe that my story is parted because at first my upbringing, when my father married again, it was fair in the sense that I could find where to sleep. I could eat. Pamwe pacho ndichitsiurwa, at first ndakatanga ndichiona kuti it's the love of a mother. Maita homework here, so I could feel that love. Could no, but yes, she's not my mother, but she's trying and working her part. But I believe that endurance in terms of my stepmothers who is usually short-lived, because they come and a stepmother are well stabilized. They've deepened their roots. Now comes control, and that control, if it starts from the father and goes down to the kids, at the end, that's when you start noticing my loopholes that pamwe handichatsiurwa, because I believe kuti pamwe pacho panaisarohwa ndaifana kurohwa, and you start questioning that is it the love of a mother. Pamwe pacho ndarohwa, pamwe ndiona kunge ndandisingafana kurohwa, of which I was young, and it came to a point that my father started noticing the same as well. Okay, because my father now had a child with this woman, now the focus and attention was now on the child.
We know most people vakangonzwa izwi rekuti stepmother, pana patoiswa ndingikini black kuti mastepmother vadi vana vanovabata zvakaipa, but we are hearing you saying kuti yeah, she showed me love, vakanditsurawo. She would actually ask kuti ndaita homework here. How was it living na stepmother? Vachingouya makakwanisa kutotanga kutoti mama ipapo here, or it took you time, or maitooneka noshirikiko kuti kuri stepmother, but vauya you then see kuti no, she's treating me okay?
Yeah, like I said, to be honest, it was difficult to call someone mama. Like I think I struggled to officialize the feeling that I had a new mother, because I was still young. So I didn't find it okay, because the death of my mom came as something that was abrupt. I wasn't prepared.
What happened to mama?
Yes. My mother, the passing of my mother actually, to me, is mystery. Why do I say mystery? Because there were battles that were going on with my father. The two families never saw eye to eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your maternal and your paternal families were fighting.
Families were fighting.
But your mother and father were okay, right?
We're okay. So it got to these spiritual wars. And spiritual wars, if I'm going to be honest, taitoziva kuti kuna sekuru vanoti vakauya vaisiya mazai kana enyoka to hedge, and then vachingoenda, that day you could see a big snake and coming. I was young, but I saw it was in my eyes, and we knew that tikaendawo sevana kuholiday kwana mama, taenda ikoko, nyaya dzinotaurwa pamusoro pababa tiri ikoko, it was negative. Ukaendawo kwababa dziri kutaurwa about the mother, my mother, dzadziri negative. So I believe the death of my mom, the passing away of my mom, was attributed to family fights, and till that the two families hapana pavakasvika pakuti vakaonana. I remember it was in my eyes. I remember my father, the day my mom passed on, musi wenhamo, my father was actually chained nana sekuru. He was chained, kusungwa nechain chaiko chaiko, vakasungirirwa vachinzi ndiye auraya mwana wedu.
And you saw that?
I saw it. Now I saw it, and those same people, even till date, I'm expected to call them sekuru. And with that in mind, I was still young. It was too big for me to see that, you see. So ndakunzwa mashoko ekunzi ndiye auraya mwana wedu, ndiye auraya mwana wedu. My father actually lost the fortunes. Vanga vaine mombe dzaisvika kuma 100 200, but till date pamwe havana mombe 1 because the fight escalated to my fortunes avo.
Vakatora zvinhu
They took
vachiti kuripwa.
Yes, I'm sure it was kuripwa. Dzimwe dzacho pamwe ndatisingadzinzwisise, but what I saw is exactly what I'm saying. So already I was traumatized. So now the transition to quickly say mama, with what I'd seen, it was difficult. So even my judgment, Pana, the new mother, it was impaired already. It was filtered. Despite that I was trying, there came a time that I started feeling negativity throughout. There was now comparison. So up to the point that a time took me to a certain location when I finished my ordinary level to proceed to my advanced level in Rusape. And by the way, I was very gifted in soccer. Maybe mukaenda areas like Heathcliff, Rusape, Baitbridge, people knew me.
Kwaive nemukomana nemakumba nemagiki.
Kwakune anonzi majabhora. Kwakune jabhora.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mai passed on in hospital or Pamba? How was it? How were you told that Mai is gone?
It's unfortunate that the day randakasvika handina kuona kuigwa kwamai yangu. Ndakasvika 2 days vaigwa.
Where were you coming from?
I was in Harare because my holidays taimboendawo kuHarare kuna baba, and I remember that was my first time kuziya Harare because ndandauya kuholiday kwababa, baba vachishandira paKG6 apa. So news dzakasvika tiri kunoku, kuenda kuBaitbridge, and from Baitbridge to go to areas such as Jalukanga, Shereki, Shashe, kune further 260 300 kilometers. Mabhazi kwakuna Shushaini, waingoziva kuti Shushaini kana aenda makutomirira the following day. Yes. So my coming tichitouya nababa, we came 2 days after because of logistics dzadziripo, which I consider a physical barrier that we could not.
So exactly. Your father vakasvika mudzimai avigwa?
Yes.
Ndopa wakabva wasungwa necheni?
Ndopa wakasungwa necheni nana sekuru vangu, and those are nasekuru vachiripo.
Mai vakafa vainani?
And from what I was told, since I was not there, mai vakafira kuchipatara, and kuchipatara uku mai vangu vanongonzi vakafa vachingoti vachiudza my sister, who's actually the pastoress to Dunamis Church, Dunamis Tabernacle Ministries. She's the firstborn. She was there on spot. and my elder brother who became a soldier ndo vakanga variko because they had not come to holiday. So I'm told that kufa kwavo vaingoti dzidzisai vana vangu kunamata, dzidzisai vana vangu kunamata, because even tiri vadiki you could see my family problems aya kuti it was now a spiritual warfare, so people find solution in different dimensions. And I think this is where the natural part of me protected me, because even ndaizvoona I don't know even till date whether painzi vana ngavaende vese vanogeswa kurwizi vaiswe something kuti vaprotectwa against. I was always adamant. I never, ndaitorohwa chaicho kunzi zvakati. Saka with that I know kuti my mother had to sort for solutions, and some of these solutions were maybe with what contributed to that.
What can you say? Could you remember your mother teaching you either folk tales, music? What is it that you still hold on that, you know what, I learned this from my mother? Yes, you were 9.
Yeah.
But at 9 sometimes, this song is my mother who taught me this one. Or I learned this.
To be honest, there are two things that I miss. Yeah. Sekuru. She was a no-nonsense woman. Any mistake might also help makutomanyisa.
Nei. Because isusu takarohwa tichita takakura tichirohwa nesandaki yekuti yaiti ikakurova kana yazoti ya.
And nyaya dzakawanda dzadziri dze-communication. How do you communicate with the elders? I think nanhasi ndakatoremara. If I meet someone tikangotarisana maziso, I greet them. I don't think kuti tiri pai. Pamwe pacho even uine vanhu vanozokuti ko bishop unoziva nevanhu vakadaro, pamwe pacho hanotombovazive because zvinhu zvaingoramba
ukaona vanhu
unongomhoresa. Saka even till date that's my weakness.
I don't think it's a weakness, it's a strength.
It's a strength. So,
mai vairova nei?
Yeah, mai vangu inini kazhinji vaitema shamu uye vaiti zviri padhuze futi anga ari matools of trade.
Kana mugosi
hai waingokuzara wakagara ipapo. And kazhinji handina time yekuti ndinoti ndakamboroverwa zvisipo kana kuti zviri out of my rights. And chinonzi my rights by then I never knew. Kwakusina, it never existed. And it had to build me to become a strong boy. And secondly, I just loved the way she defended me. Whether I was wrong or right, she defended me. Yes. Nepamwe pandaitoziva kuti apa ndini ndadziparamura idzi, but she always stood to say, my son doesn't do that. No, my son, I know him. And that defense system. Yes, you know kuti muhombe chete apa akutonodhilwa naye uko, whether zvaita sei. So that is what I really missed. So which meant that, like I said, they became a comparison. Yes, they became a comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sure. You talked about you leaving home.
Yeah, sure.
After school.
Yeah, sure.
And where did you go, and what is it that you started doing?
Okay. I left home after finishing my ordinary level. We had passed, and now the reason why I left home was now my father and the previous mother that I had were now fighting. Their relationship now became unstable. Now my father had retired from the National Army. He was actually an accountant as well. So he now gets employed Kupax. So he was now going kuchiredzi. So time yaanga kuuya maybe per month he would come twice wodzokera. So much of my time now takange taakugara na mama stepmother. So time yatata kugara tese now, when they started fighting, the environment became unpleasant. And when it became unpleasant, instead of enduring the challenges zanga dzapo, because it meant that direct fight impacted as well on my well-being, I had to look east and south, and the only option I had was my brother, who was working in the National Army by then, because baba wakati vachipedzawo vakatry kufacilitate kuti mwana asara nechekubata. So my father, my brother was working in Dare. She also married a wife who was also a soldier working in Rusape. So the mutual point yavaisangana was Rusape. So padango pedza papandango, no, let me go to my brother's place.
Kababa mnini kauye kuna maiguru.
Yes,
how was it like na maiguru?
Ikoko ndo kwakune drama manje. Ndo kune drama dzakatozombondisiya nda homeless ikoko.
Tiri kubva kutiza kuna mai nini vari kurwa nababa.
Vatiri kutoti
rega nditizire kuna
mukoma ikoko ndo kwakanondisiya nda deserted.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Yes. I'll try to speed up kuti ndingosvike with the point. Now ndaenda kwaRusape, ndakunogara namaiguru, ndakunogara namukoma. Now mukoma wangu by then vanga vari vanhu vanga vari kubata mari, because by then vaiendawo kumamission kudemining. So because anga akaita engineering as well, so vaiendawo unoextracta zvimbambaira kuya, so they could come with my incentives anga ari better. So my brother, his weakness was women and beer. So that meant that his life throughout was going out, drinking and all that. Then my guru was also someone as well, vanga vatoriwo stable. So it goes now kuti their fight was more like on management of
the funds.
And vanga vaine kamwana, because vanga vachangobva kusununguka, ndakasvika paine musikana vanga vainawo vaichengeta ipapo. So now because of mafunds anga asiri kufamba mushe, mukoma akatambira, taitoziva kuti vakatambira vaizouya pamwe after a week. Hakusina mari. Then pamwe maiguru ndo vari kuuya nemari, vobva vati mari. Then maiguru vakatanga kufila kuti the money ndindiri kushanda pana.
And ini ndindiri kushanda waswaya nemari. Apo waunza futi munin'ina wako. Waunza
munin'ina wako atoriwo nemademands panapa. Kutiwo
ada kudya, ada kuenda kuchikoro
and all that. So that's how it started. So their fight, paiti pakarwiwa zvishuwa paitange pari kubayiwana nemapanga masoja. Vanhu vari trained vari kurovana. So ininiwo handisati ndakura, can say form 5 unenge uchizivei. So kamwanawo kakatone 4 years, just 3-4 years, vachikutena 4 years. So the fight yakazoramba too tense to an extent that now mukoma, instead yekuuya, because vaiti vakaenda pamutare to Rusape, it was very close. Instead yekuuya pamwe mwedzi paweekend vaimbouya, havachauya maweekends because vari kutiza the fights there.
Asi iwe wasiwa kugara namaiguru?
Inini ndasiwa ndiri kugara nemwana. Ndikati maiguru because ndakutogara nemwana, because house girl akasvika pakuenda because anga asingachawani mari yake. So maiguru havachadzokewo because mai guru vanga vambodeployiwa uku vakazodeploya kumbalavala uku. So these people havachadzoka now. What it means now, inini ndinda kusara pamwe pacho takutochovha 2 months
aive mwanai
mwana musikana, and even till date handina chandisingazive about kugeza mwana, about kumubikira, anything. Handina chandisingagoni. It became normal to me because by then their fight led me into becoming
a parent. Nditoriwo
mwana. So putting that in mind now, what do I do? Because ndaitamba bhora. At the same time I want to strike a balance between mabooks angu nekumba. Dzinoitika kumba tatakutozikanwa mucommunity kuti apo and all that. So it became worse that zvatosvika pakutoti chikafu hapasisina, alright, where I could now go kuma neighbors getting food. Vaindizivawo vaiona situation vanotanga vachisupportiwo naivo vanosvikopo vanoneta. Then I became myself a breadwinner because ndaiti ndikanotamba bhora. There was a club yainzi okay, yanga irimo chitambo madivision 2 iwawo, kwaiuyewo tumari ndotwandaizotora ndounza kumba.
Vanhu 2 ava, umwe kwake kubasa, umwe kwake kubasa, havasi kutotumira chikafu kumba kuti mwana adye.
Hakuna chaicho.
Nguva iyoyo could you have called them to say hatina chekudya?
Kutoafonera, it was meaningless because each time you could call your brother, pamwe rutofona achitonzi akasungwa akaenda kuDB arowana nemashefu. Atori kuDB uri kufona kuna mai guru kunzonzi ndirikuya. Then it went to a point yekuti indandangu accept kuti ndozviripo, and ndinoda kuweya option yekuti going back. I felt that it was similar. So what was I going to do now? Ndanda kutongofocus on nekuti ndikaenda kuchikoro. I have friends, some of them vanga kutobatanidza malunch tichienda kuchikoro. Vachiuya nemalunch ndo chikafu chandaidya, pamwe pacho ndo chandaitakurira mwana ndodzoka nacho todya.
Uchikora wakambenge waenda here through process yekuti unoshaya chekudya kuti zvakatoitika wakugara kwamukoma?
Process yekushaya chekudya ndakamboiona uye ndakai-experience time yeconflict yababa
namama vadiki.
Mama vadiki ndo imwe push yanga iripo pakuti pamwe pacho wasvika kunzi hapana chikafu, baba wako havana kutumira mari ndavaskwera. So
for mazuva mangani?
There were times yekuti waiti pamwe nhasi papasina consistency yekuti when you go home you expect a meal, ukasvika chiri tobikwawo ndizvozvo, ukasvikawo vanhu vadya hakusisina.
Baba namai nini vakanga vava nevana vangani?
Vakanga vaine mwana 1.
Vakangoita mwana 1?
Yes, vangoita.
Ko you said iwe uri third born, makanga muri 5 kwamai venyu?
Yes, sure.
Where are the other 2?
The other 2 vanga vatorwa nasisi vahombe. You know, siso vane kumba kwavo, vane murume wavo, kune vana. So kwavari vaikwanisa kungotora ivavo
vadika.
Yes, even mimi maitiwo mukavhizita hazvizotaurwe kunzi vakomana mawandisa panapa, iwe unongo pamukuasha futi. Saka iwewe waingova nefeeling yekuti no, I need to take a step and do something.
So what did you do? Wasvika mai nini vari kuti pano hapana chikafu, waiitei? Did the neighbors helped?
Yeah, their neighbors also ate.
Did they help?
Yes, they helped. Patori nevanonzi mai Nyapokoto. She's working at a certain school where I once taught. Ndo anga vatori munhu aiwanzondipa chikafu now. And even till date anga achitaura katiso mwanangu. But Mwari akanaka. Ndiwe.
You pulled through.
Yes, she was someone I felt comfortable. Ndaiti ndikatoongozeya kuti ndashaya uko, ndaitosvika share yangu yakatogadzirwa kudhara.
Saka
vanhu vaizviona from a distance, but vasingakwanise kuita poke their nose into the issues, vachitry always kuchengetedza their relationships, but indirectly they were helping me.
Munhu haaipe zvese, munhu haanake zvese. What
true.
can you say? You can say, you look back and say, yes, I'm not happy about 1 2 3 4 or that time zvairwadza namainini, but ndakambodzidzawo ichi nechichi, or she helped me developed this one. Unoza pana pekuti dzimwe nguva when you go through hardships zvinokusimbisa or zvinokuita a better person. What can you say kuti
I think ndinototendawo Mwari kutoti pane nguva dzekutiwo ndaitodawo kutongonzi ndina amai. It was enough kutoziva kuti variko, alright, ndinokwanisa kusawana ABCD, but ndikati ndiri kurwara vanototengopenisa. It means munhu atori neconcern, it means love. Vatori nematimes consultation, right? Uya wotonomira, wotonzwa, wotopopota kuti koiwewe chii chauri kuita apa, chii chauri kuita ipapa. Saka I really thank her. She played a part.
Baba namainini
No,
vachiri vese.
No, vachazi vese. And I know the primary reason for the divorce was the way she handled us when she was no longer at home, when she was now working in Chirets. That was the reason for the primary divorce.
Okay. The way that mainini handled you, baba vasisipo.
Yes. It was more like, you love vanangu, you do good things because I'm there. When I'm not there, it's the other way around.
And you are actually saying kuti when baba was there, mairatidzwa rudo.
Yes.
Kana baba vasisipo, it
was different. Yes, it was different. And nenyo uchikurawo paipa unenge uchita uchiona kuti baba vauya vari kufanira kubuda kunotsvaga chikafu, vari kufanira kubuda kutsvaga mari, then we have to live. Saka there is no ways daddy pawaizoswera vangoripo. Saka one way or the other, my fear even of going back was that baba ndosvika vasiripo. Saka it will always be like that. And that is conflict, I know. Kuti ndo yakakonza the divorce. Like I said, my father remarried because he wanted our upbringing to be better, not only because of his feelings. Yes, andingazokwanisa kuzoziva other objectives, but I know that he did that for that, because chero pawainetsana ndaiziva kuti maconversation aibuda ndeye vana vako unofunga kuti ndinovaita sei. Pamwe ndauyawo baba pavanodzoka aicomplain kuti zvakazodai. Pamwewo baba vachatsamawo confront kuti kosi usina zodai vana. Saka that I know till date, that was the cause of the divorce.
Did baba remarry again?
I don't know, because currently he is now based in the Bridge, where he's staying and building a home again. Like I said, my spiritual fights can lead to the abandonment of Kumusha, because it was now a place yangasingachaite. So varikuvaka kugwanda, he's staying there. So
you don't know kuti kuna mainini here katapo.
Hauzozivi. But to be honest, he comes vanondivhizitira kubasa. I've been there kumusha kwaari kuvaka, so handina munhu wandakaona. Saka hauzoziva.
Mukoma namaiguru vakazoramba vari vese here?
They divorced.
Mwana akasara ainani?
Ndinovachengeta.
Nanasi you still have?
Yes.
Your daughter. Totamuti daughter yedu.
Daughter. And the interesting part ndeyekuti these people went on to have 3 kids. Very divorced.
That's a story for another day. Wakazopedza A level here?
Yes.
Wapedza A level uchiri kutamba bhora?
Yeah, sure.
And then what did you do after A level?
Yes, pandakazopedza A level, I had another mother again. This is the mother vakazondipa a home when I was now deserted, because the divorce yamukoma namai guru led me stuck. I was now stuck in Rusape because uyo anga akuti ndakunogara kwaMutare, uyo akutoti ininiwo ndakuendawo kwangu, ende maiguru wangu kumusha kwavo futi kwakuri kwaMutare.
Ko mwana
Now mwana vakanga maiguru vakanga vati ndakutora mwana, but murume waiti hauna kwaunoenda nemwana. So now ndanda lower 6 and ndiri kuconsider lower 6 yangu kuti pachikoro pandiri kuenda apa, once ndangobva my advanced level panenge pasina, because I knew these people. Kana kutokumbira mari ungoti ndipewo mari yekutenga bhuku rekuti ndinyorewo manotes kana kuti anything chiri related to education, they were anti education. Vanga vasingabhelieve mune zvekuita sei. It was more like watopedza O level iwewe tsvaga zvekuita. So kutobva Marisape I knew that career yangu yekuchikoro yaibva yapera. So musi wakatotama ndanditori kuchikoro, ndakasvika ndichitoudzwa nevanhu vanga varipo kuti mukoma wako namaiguru vatama vasipo panapa. Ndakasvika room iri empty and zvikanza vatakura nemabhuku
ako ekuchikoro
angu neekuchikoro, vati hanzi uzoteera kwaMutare. Kondoteera kwaMutare, handina mari yebhazi, handina anything, and ndakatanga kuziva Mutare manheru kuma12 manheru. That's how I knew Mutare.
Maakuteera mukoma?
Yeah, ndakuteera mukoma.
Waiteera mukoma ndikatonga kuteera mabhuku ako?
Chandaiteerera mukoma anga ari mabhuku angu, and to negotiate upenyu hwangu kuti don't you think it's unfair. And my brother by then anga ari munhu ane hasha, waiti ukangoda kuramba uchipersista waiziva kuti mambama, and that was who he was. And I believe kuti kuarmy kwacho kwavakazodzingwa, vakadzingwa because of that.
Vakatozodzingwa
kuarmy because he could not control his temper. So because of that now, inini the reason why ndakateera, I don't know even till date, I don't know mari yacho kuti ndakaiwana kupi yekuenda kwaMutare manheru, but all I know ndakaenda kwaMutare for free, ndikadzoka kwaMutare for free. And it's a story that it's worth sharing. The day vaenda, because ndaiwanzostuda, ndaisara kuchikoro ndostuda because I knew kumba kwakusingastadiki. So ndakasvika kumba kuma7 because ndaiziva kuti mukoma namaiguru varipo. So when I got there, ndasvika ndokunzi mukoma vaenda. Ndakabva ndabvunza vamwe vatailoja navo because vairenta 2 rooms ipapo. Ndopo vakanitaura kuti mukoma wako aenda. So vakangosiya chinoti chakanyorwa address kuti kwainzi kunickname hanzi kudivhati. Ndo dangamvura nditi chipepa chakanyorwa kunzi divhati instead of dangamvura, kuti ngauye kudivhati kwamupfumi. Akasvika ipapo apapo anongotsvaga panhamba panzi 15 here, something like that. So
avanosiya mari basi?
Handinasirwa mari.
Vari kuziva kuti mwana haashandi?
Mwana haashandi.
Asi vari kuti ngaateere kwaMutare.
Mwana ngaateere kwaMutare.
Before, how was your relationship like with your brother?
My relationship with my brother was good socially, but materially it was poor, because support yandainyanya was educational rather than stories.
Woku kugara muchitaura nyaya it's okay. But pakazonzi paroda mari yefees nezvekuchikoro,
ipapo it was poor.
Nzira dzatopesana. Okay. Yeah. So masvika mune chinote dziri kuma7.
Ndakangoendawo painzi pamanyuchi Marisape. I just don't know what pushed me. I don't even know what pushed me. Ndangoti let me go there pamakombi ndingonokumbira kuti ndinoda kuenda kwakati. And I don't know, ndaingoti ndikangokumbira hakuna munhu aimbondibvunza kana kuda kuquestion. Ndapinda mufana kugara. That's how I got to know Mutare. It was my first time. Ndichipinda mamutare macho ndakasiyirwa panonzi pamoto. And by then ndo time yainetsawo nyaya dzembavha, satanism and all that.
Ndichingosiwa in 1992 zvemakore api? 2009.
Yes, this time it was around 2009. Yes. So ndikusvika pamoto. The guys vanga vaine chimota chakatakura vanhu vachiuya ikoko. Pandakataura kuti ndinoenda kwakati mutown. That was around 11. Instead of kundidirecta kuita sei vakati mufanira rikati kuperekedza. They went there with me. Vakabva vatonondisiya pagedhi pacho. I don't know vakazviziva sei. I never questioned anything. When I got there, I saw my brother. And pandakatosvika ndakasvika vachirwa. Vanga vari vese vaitorwa. Time yandakasvika.
Mwana ari kupi?
Vanga vainaye anga aripo ipapo atotorwa nalandlord ari ipapo. So it seems like my brother vanga vaine nyaya dzavo dzavanga vachirwirirana nadzo and all that. So all I did was that ndakakumbira kutaura namukoma ndikati, look, ndiri kuenda kuchikoro. Onai madai right now muri kurwa. Don't you think it's bad zvamuri kuita? It's a new place yamuri kuti muri kuuya. Mbama yandakarohwa ipapo nanhasi ndikada kuitaura, initange ndinogara ndichiona. He slapped me and paakandirohwa this teeth yakabreaka ipapo. That's how it transpired. So with emotions, with pain, I got into the room, picked my books, ndabva ndabuda ndangonofamba ndikangonomira paroad pandakaona tichitenera tichipinda muthat area. Pawangu ya pick up yabva yamira kuenda kumfana usiku. Pawangu ya pick up uri kuenda kupi mfana? Ndataura kwandiri kuenda ndanzipinda
Rusapi.
And which tati mudanga mvura area 14 ndo pandakajambira mota. Then ndakazonosiyiwa mutown. So ndasiyiwa mutown ndakabva ndanzwa kuenda kuHarare. Ndanosiyiwa exactly pane chiroad chimain road chinobata kuChristmas pass chiya. Pauyewo mota. I mean zvinhu zvacho zvaitange zviri planned. It was a sequence of activities yekuti it was like stop go. So got into another car. There was a gentleman yanga iri single cab. Aitoridza music aita sei ndiri kuda kuzama kukumbira udai zvanzi fana pinda mani. Ndapinda paya driver ndobva atonondisiya pandaigara kudzoka marusapi
dzangu vai akasvika marusapi nguva
padzadza kuma 1 am. So ndasvika kuya ndakabva ndangonoka madoors vanga varipo ndobva ndangopiwa gumbezi ndangorara muempty room iyayo. So the following day now,
pesa apa hauna chawadya kaka?
Handina chandandacha. So the following day now pozatoma kusenaya because ndakapfeka uniform. Zvese zvaitika ndakapfeka neuniform ndakaisa chijaketi pamusoro pakudzoka. So now the biggest issue yainyanyondidya was kuti where am I going to go to? Where am I going to get food from? Because I've never been exposed to such a circumstance. Kuti ndifonere baba ndikutoziva kuti chero ndikavafonera vanongoti enda kuna mukoma chichi kunetsa. Ndofonera sisi, definitely the response would be kumukoma chichi kunetsa ikoko. So I just went to school. Ndikangosiya mabhegi angu ikoko nangoenda kuchikoro.
Pawakatora mabhuku apo wakatorawo nehembe dzako?
Idza dzimboripo here hembe dzacho, hembe 3-4. So it was something chekuti chasiri chekuita se zvinhu zvekuti zvaingokwana mubhegi nemabhuku. It was enough kungofamba zvakanaro. So I left my bag musiwo ndakaenda kuchikoro ndisina mabooks. Ndatoenda kuchikoro handina munhu wandakakwanisa kutaurira, and I was close to these guys ainzi Zebediah, Ngoni naMax. Ndo vanhu vataitamba navo, wandaijikidzana navo. In terms of maitiro aita zvinhu zvavo, we were very close. So now the drama starts there. Tapedza, I can't tell anyone kuti
handina
kwekuenda. So ndaipinda FM muvhengere, ndo kuchechi kwandaienda. So pandakabva kuchikoro ndakangopfuura ndichitora bhegi ndabva ndaenda kuAFM. AFM ine maFM mazhinji ane masections anobhabhatidzirwa vanhu nekunogara macongregates. So I got there because ndaitombwa netimes dzekuti kana ndichida kuverenga ndaienda ikokoko. So that became my home and no one knew. And ndaitoti ndikaenda kuchikoro, shamwari dzangu dzaiziva already kuti ndaiva nestruggle yechikafu, saka vaiuya nemalunch. So that's where I could get food. Ndichingopedza ndaimirira kuti time dzitifambei ndobva kuchikoro kwadoka. Kana kuine service ndaitoziva kuti kuma10 ndo pandichazonopinda muchechi, ndopinda kuseri kuya. Kuchikoro ndo kwandaigezera, because ndaingotiwo ndikangosvika ikoko masports na2 paya titange toita masports, ndotoziva kuti opportunity yekutogeza.
Vanhu vari kungotaiwa munhu ari kugeza semunhu abva kumasports, meaning kuti the only meal you had was one meal. Wapiwa neshamwari vauya nemalunch box.
That was the meal that I was having. So it had to go on for nearly a month. Now it was now difficult because zvinanasipo zviya it was a challenge now, and I did not open to my friends because my friends aingoassume kuti nditase pamwe pacho ndaifila kuti how would they take it. Pamwe tichitamba ndo nyaya dzataiseka kuti zvigunduru and all that.
So, but now you're watching gunduru. Asi the different yet uri chigunduru chiri kugunduruka muchechi.
So with that, I then decided that I start opening up, but who do I open up to? And the first time I tried to open up kuna Ngoni, but Ngoni took it as a joke, akatoseka. Then the second day, this is when I experienced an encounter with God. This encounter, I think it brings me to who I am, because the same mother vangoni wandakatry kuva vangoni, Ngoni aiva munhu aritoripitawo A-level because akanga akafoira aunzwa kuna amainini, vanga vari mainini vake, ndo vaiti mama ari kuuya kuzoita mastudies ake, ari kubva from Hondi achiuya uko. Akangonditi masikati, because previous day ndatry kudaita open up akatoseka. Masikati akangonditi nhasi kune masports taitamba neother schools, handei kumba kwedu. So ndakabvuma kuenda naye kumba kwavo. So ndichisvika kumba kwavo, pavaigara papa akashoreka kunze, but the quality of life yavairarama yanga iri better. So ndasvika pamba paye, I don't know how mai vake knew my name, knew everything about me. I just don't know. But ndichingosvika vakangoti, Katiso, how are you? Welcome my son. Ndikuvhunduka ndikati, Ngoni handinombomudza anything, because zvandakatraya kumudza was kuti things are not going well, I think I'm deserted, handisina pekugara. Akatongoseka, we cut the conversation. So ndichisvika ipapo mai vacho, I don't know, musi wacho wanga asinaenda kubasa here, vakabva vatonditora vabva vandipa pekugara. She cooked a very good meal, zvekuti kumasports kwacho takatozoenda masports akutopera.
Do you remember what you ate?
Yes, it was really good. She was a very good cook. Aibika. And I remember there were Russian, potatoes.
How many years ago is that? And you still remember the meal?
Yes, like I said, it was 2009. So now conversation she had with me, they were awkward, and she was like she knew me. She was like she knew my future. Katiso, don't worry. Katiso, what's the problem? Don't worry. The moment I read out my story, it was cut short. It was cut short. It was cut short. This woman was a very prayerful woman. Yes, I've met people on Namata, but to be honest, that woman was a prayerful woman.
ichechi imwe chete newere
Ichechi imwe chete. She was the same woman aimuka achitraira makusensen, but indaisaziva kuti ndivo. I believe hapana munhu akambobvira andiona ndichipinda imomo because paiti pakada kuuya munhu kana ndikatoona kuti ndakuda kuonekwa panapa, I open my books, I sit, start reading.
waifugei kuseri kwemuchechi?
Machira ehosteko. Machira ese ehosteko, ende FM inonyatsoita mazihombe araibva ranyatsoita a very good blanket. So zvaingosiwa nazvakapetwa ndaingotora ndongozozvipeta after. So the moment yandakava recognize, ndakatadza kuva recognize, she was the only woman aiuya makusensen wouya wotsvaira pachechi wobuda wenda. Saka indaingoasvimota ndiri papo ndo vakadzi vaya vanenge vachingoitawo goodwill wepachechi. But she was the same woman who saved me there, because when I even tried kuzotsanangura, ndakatozotsanangura later vakanditi no, I know all that, don't worry, I know all that. Then she gave me a home. To be honest, sutu kana yavakanditengera yekuenda kuchechi, it was better than yangoni wacho. If you can't talk of trust, vaiti kana vakabuda vakati vari kuenda kuTanzania vaitosiyira inini mari, ngoni wobvanza iwewe ndiwe wandokusiyira, be in charge. So ngoni became my brother, and we lived there. It became my upbringing. And
among strangers,
yeah, sure,
zvatadzikwa nemukoma,
yeah, sure,
zvatadzikwa namama vakanga vatsvagwa nababa kuti vandichengetere vana,
sure,
wakazopiwa mother's love.
I felt like there is no replacement for a mother, but my Nicole, even till date, she will always be a mother. That woman was really a mother to me. Nekuti, she did the same thing zvakaitwa namai vangu. I don't know, maybe it's wrong, but it was more advanced the way she did it. Kuchechi, imagine vangu vakutodedzwa kunzi maikatiso.
Vaivaone vana vavo here?
Yes, she was divorced with the husband. The husband was based in UK. Nemwana wavo, the daughter, ainzi Nicole. So ngoni paakauya ndiye anga ari the only son ipapo.
And then now she had two.
She had two sons. Taitreatwa sema-twins. And vaiti vakatenga hembe dzakafanana. Chese chavaita chakafanana. And I don't know if God exists. She deserves better, that woman. She deserves the blessing of the child.
Mukoma wakazokutsvagera?
Mukoma ndimukoma. Hapana pamunozorasana, because mukoma, when he lost his job, vakatangawo kumboraramawo upenyu hwakazoita up until things went down.
But ipapapa, because wabva kakumba usiku, watobva warohwa mbama, havasi kuziva kuti mwana afamba sei, vakazombokutsvaga here mumazuva iyayaya?
Yes, mukoma vakazouya. Vakatozouya kwaamai Nicole kwatatiri vachiconfirma kuti ndiri kupi, because inini ndiri ikoko mai Nicole had confirmed, because ndakaudza namba dzamukoma, had confirmed kuti ndine mwana. So vakazouya vachiconfirma, vakatorara pamai Nicole they were treated as family. Zvekutoti vanga vato nesystem yekuti chero vakangouya mariseparate wakuzorora pamainiko ivo mukoma wacho. So yeah, basa ramukoma razopera. Later on, then another chapter opens, things became worse.
So you then finished your A level?
Yes,
uri
I
marusape.
Marusape.
Vaenda nodzidzira basa rei?
Yes, teaching. That's where I became a teacher. And I think it was an inborn gift. And till date, I believe that besides going through a teaching profession, teaching is
It's a calling.
Yeah, it's a calling, it's an art. It goes beyond expectations. It's more like you're a role model. You are everything. You are someone who, when kids look at you, they should love to be you. Maybe it explains why Bishop, the nickname Bishop, is how I try to handle myself. Because
when did this nickname come?
This nickname yakatotanga nditori kuma form 3.
It was Bishop. And it carried you through. Okay, now we want to hear, what are you doing? You trained as a teacher. Where are you teaching now?
All right. Currently, I'm now teaching at an organization that I started, River Cape International School. I'm the co-founder of that organization. And as a teacher, you go through a series where you develop in other institutions, taught in Heretials, taught Stillwaters, I taught at King Solomon, and there are institutes where I was just hired and all that. So the drive behind River Cape International School, which is where I'm currently teaching, is also a mystery again, because it starts when I lost my academic documents.
Where did you train as a teacher?
It was a teacher's college.
Saka tinopiwa zvitupa zvokuti aiwa uyu munhu ari qualified.
Yeah, that's
now you're telling me that you lost your
What
happened?
There was a time when I was working for other institutions, and then it starts when I was at Herentials, where my documents andanga ndinawo ese ndikurenta at a place in Warren Park. As I was renting there, ndandinika ndandiri munhu nekushuvira zvinhu zvakanaka, ndandiri munhu wekuti ndaiwanzodo tunhu twakati nakei ndikangowana kamari ndongotenga. I remember I had a bag randandatengawo ndichiti my wish is to buy an iPad. My wish is to buy an iPad. So this iPad ndo maigara, ndakachitenga chiri chibag chihombe. So usually ndaichengeta madocuments angu, all my academic documents imomo. So ndaibva ndazvichengeta zvese zviri imomo. So a day goes now, I slept ndakahinga bag riya riya pawindow, and window racho rarisi loose. Saka nechilogo chachiripo cheapple chiya ndokubiwa kwakaita the bag.
Where was the iPad?
It was inside. The attraction was the iPad.
It was actually in that bag.
In that bag, both ndo mandaichengetera. So ndokubiwa kwakaitwa those
nepa window
ku
Warren Park.
Yes, Warren Park. I still have my police reports. So
and this thief haana kumboitomweyo kuti chirege ndichisiyawo matsamba aya.
Pamwe usually zvinombonzi munhu anotorobha siya ipapo zvitupa and all that. I never got anything. Zvakaendwa nazvo zvese.
So now you can't look for a job usina mapepa.
You cannot look for a job usina mapepa, but already you are engaged. So I was working at Herentials by then, ndakatoengagwa kare. But now at schools kunoitwa workforce audit, pamwe pacho they need to improve my staff requirements, pamwe pacho ministry iri kuuya iri kuda staff yamuinayo nemaqualifications acho, pamwe pacho pachanzi nahead bring us the copies, zvinhu izvozvo zvazvisipo manje. So what did that mean now? I had to prove that I'm a teacher, and proving that you're a teacher usina those documents was difficult, because mistake yawaita, it could raise a question, and the teacher, and you are still developing as a teacher, conduct yaitwa apa ndi teacher ero, ngambounza zvinhu zvake, and then you don't have it. You give stories, zvakadai. Then now, what does this mean? Pamwe pacho, you become a victim in an institution. So I had no option than to become very good at what I do, because I was teaching economics and business studies. So which meant that each step that I took was to make sure that I am the best. If you are going to give me a class 720, they need to pass this beyond everyone, because the only guarantee that I had now was that. Kuti nditange kupusha with funds, kuti ndinoita sei. It was more like time consuming. So I developed now to become a good teacher because of that. So throughout the profession pandanda kufamba, it was more like I have no option here than
to make everyone pass.
Make everyone pass.
Everyone who passes through my hands,
you see that
the work is now speaking for you.
The work is now speaking for me. The work is now speaking for me, and that also became the drive to become independent now. To say, no, if I want to take this route, it's not safer for me. I'm going to take A, B, C, D. So it led to me even creating this brand where I started teaching those that were underprivileged. So the reason why ndaiva teacher, I don't know why ndaiti ndikada kuita ma-extra lessons ndinongoingwa nevanhu vasingawani. Ndikada kuti rega ndiite class paside, I make money.
Kurikuyava nezvichemo vari kuti
kunongoya nherera, kana asiri nherera alright, kunouya mwana anongochengetwa namai, but mai acho havasitokwanisana kubhadhara rent and all that. Pamwe pacho utomufamba kudzimba dzacho uchitosvika utoona kuti azvishuwa hapana zvekuita. So it became an area interest where I started loving teaching vanhu vanoshaya. And River Cape was started from orphans, vanhu vasingawani, vanhu vese vasingawani ndo vakatanga that school, because those people, the fortunate part, ndo vainopasa, vanowana vacho ndo vanga vasiri kuita zvakanaka. So there was a time where your class at my extra lessons, but those people come pamwe une 16 people, 12 fighter ma 15 points, and the 15 points ndo vese vari underprivileged. So those same people started speaking positive, promoting me indirectly. They started endorsing me. Vamwe vacho vanga vakutondipa pressure. You look at the way you are doing. Don't you start your brand? Don't you start a school? Now fear, because tinenge takabva kusina kunyatsoudzwa unzi
you can do it on your own. You need employment.
So it took time for me to start, because I was afraid. I didn't at first believe in my potential. So came a day where I just said, whatever that I'm doing, I'm stopping. If I'm going to die, if I'm going to going to go back in the streets, yes, it's okay. That's the way it is. Then when I tried, it started. When I tried to put effort, it was multiplying. Then it led to River Cape International School.
Mm-hmm. So as we speak, there is a school.
there is a school,
a built school
inonzi
river camp.
Yakangotanga
yavakwa here because tinombonzwa vamwe vachinzi hanzi pane nhingirikini boot store yekuti unombotanga uchitengesera kumashure kweboot. Ive muchitanga chikoro ichi makatanga muri pasi pemumango here, makatanga muchimborenta room here?
Okay.
How did you start?
My school yakatangira mukitchen memunhu ainzi mai Ackman.
Kupi koko?
Muwarden Park muna 5. That's where the school started. Ackman anga ariwo munhu wandaiziva socially, so taingoti tikaenda ipapo ndaiwanzotaura namama vake zvakanyanya. Mwanangu, tichitaura nyaya. I'm a teacher. All right. Mwanangu, all right. But ndotsvaga pekudzidzisira vana. Nai kati so unouya apa bishop, munouya apa mongoita malessons apa kitchen irimo. So ndakatanga ne 3 students andakatanga navo. One is now a graduate Pana, one is now a teacher in Mozambique, and the other is now based in South Africa. He was also into businesses. So vanhu ava vangondiapproach vangoti naimudhara takanzwa kuti muri teacher, kumunokwanisira kuti teacher business studies neeconomics. Vangu vari mastudents aidzidza pawarren park high. So at first ndakamboramba zvikanzi aiwa takanzwa kuti muno teacher. So those people vakauya vakandinokera kumba pandairenta a1 room muna 16 Warren Park. So when these students came, I didn't believe kuti they came with a cause, but vairatidza kuti vane confidence and belief in me, so I accommodated them. So pandairenta vanga vasingadi vanhu vakawanda. So at first ndakatanga ndichibiridzira vachiuya ndichitange ndiri kuassista, but it was now clear that I was doing a commercial activity, and these students one wacho ndiyaibhadhara, the other one vanga vasingabhadhari. So I accommodated them. Then ndo pandakafunga kuti sezvo ndiri kudzingwa panapa, where can I find a better place? That's when
kitchen
yeah.
So vana vamakuvatichira mukitchen.
Yeah, sure.
Kuko mapepa mudzidzisi achiri kuticha asina mapepero?
No, mudzidzisi arongeka, and I managed to recover anything that was my credential, and it got my confidence back. And yeah, I think I managed to fight very hard to recover anything that I needed to secure myself as a professional and someone who the community can trust and believe in.
Because kunyange uchiziya zvaunoita, isusu tinoda kuona kuti tipe bepa, tipe proof.
It counts.
Tinoda vana vari kupasa asi tikuda mapepa
timboona, which is something important, and it builds other people. Vamwe vana marole models anenge achida kunzwa pamakaita paya makaita sei imimi. Vamwe vacho unotofanira kutoratidza so that they have that belief.
Vazhinji totenda taona saThomas.
Yeah, that's very true.
So maita vana 3 ava vakazowanda kusvika vangani?
Yeah, vana that kitchen yakazenge yane vana 27 mukitchen.
Vaigara paya?
Zvaita mamai Ackman vaibika kuma 3 vanenge vapedza kubika zvinhu zvavo, vobvisa mastove, vobva vaendesa kudining kwavo, ndopinda imomo ndoita lesson, tichingopedza vodzosera mastove.
Vana vanenge vagara pai pasi pafloor.
Zvandandakuita manje taingotsvaga munhu ane machairs. Kuna vanhu vaya vanhu vaisira machairs, vanhu vechurch and all that. So aingoenda ungoti mama, mwedzi paunopera pamachairs enyu ndopai $10, ndokuda machairs akati. Saka vaingotora black plastic chairs aya ndo anga aripo. Zvimaboard vaitsvaga zvidiki zviripo, wakutongoisa kana pari pakitchen unit, wakutongoisa ipapo, wakutotanga kudzidzisa vana. So the class started growing. So nekukura kwayairamba ichiita, my acmen also vaizvionawo vakati no this time ngachipinda mudining. Dining ndo yanga yaclass saka zvaireva machaibva awanda taamudining saka masofa aya ndo anga akuwedzera futi machairs. So from dining vana vachirambawo, it was by this time vanga vakuma 32. So I then decided now I think mama played a part. Now I need to grow. That's when I decided to track a garage. My garage yanga inenge ventilated inongonobata pajurawo. That became my new class yandakatsvaga.
Area iWarren Park,
same street. Saka ndaingoapproacha vari mudhuze imomo. So that became a permanent class yekuti ndaiti chero ndikaita zvandaita maclasses angu ndaingomake sure kuti ndichingobva kubasa ndaibva ndati 4 o'clock.
So you were still going to work?
Yes,
and then these were like my extra lessons?
Yes, I got my extra lessons.
Let's go pamazotanga chikoro chavapo izvinezvi nekuti tiri kuona isusu tambotanga tiri pamba patiri kuroja patiri kubiridzira vana kuti vapinde, taenda mukitchen mamai acmen, tapinda mudining, taamugarage. How did you then get the place where you have built a school?
Okay. Matangiro andakaita ndaitsvaga a full house because mari padzaiuya waibva waseva trial prepare a forecast kuti 3 months ndikakwanisa kubhadhira full house 3 times panozoya tumari at least I can sustain myself. And thank God the policies in Zimbabwe, they are very, 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 very convenient and conducive to everyone, because with my research in other countries, what starts its regulation, you meet the demands, you get my permits and all that. So you could go to a person, full house, you go through my agents, and then those agents will check the full house. Then you use that as a school. So that's how I started. So with that, ndichiramba ndichikura because ndatora full house muWarren Park. And that full house yandakatora was actually the former radio presenter Admirataderera. Ndiyo ndaka-approach, it was their house. So ndo vakandipa that house, and he was very nice and sincere to me, because pane time yekuti pastorina he could go quiet to say, don't worry, kangoti handisandani mari of it's okay. He could not question even to date. I don't think ane zvandinokwanisa kumira kuti anaundiitira. He could endorse me in so many other ways. So now decided that I try to locate at a place where at least I have certainty. That's when I did my research at Chago Belvedere West. It's a new community. So Yanga is Nachkoro. So I became the first to put a school there. So,
a secondary school.
A secondary school.
Yeah, now tine mudzidzisi ari kuticha vanhu economics nebusiness studies. That's A level.
Yes, that's A level.
Saka chikoro chatotanga zvacho nhasi uno secondary school inototanga from form 1.
Form 1 to form 6.
From teacher vai vanga vasina mapepa, now we have an employer. Ari kutotsvagawo mamwe maticha anoticha shona.
In fact, hatitotori vasina mapepa. Hatitotori vasina mapepa.
Kwakazoti akabiwa mapepa aya oimba yakabvira.
Hatitotori, because you need to facilitate quality education. As with the policies as well, you cannot tamper with someone's child.
How big is the school?
Yes. The school we are now on 113 in terms of enrollment. The boarding students, they are 37.
It's actually, it actually has a boarding facility.
Yes, it has a boarding facility. Yes.
And for both?
Yes, for both Cambridge and Simsek.
Yes. And then both boys and girls?
Both boys and girls, yes.
You are now a founder of a school.
Yeah, very true.
You own a school.
Yeah, that's very
true.
You
have been a teacher.
And I'm still a teacher.
You actually go to class for a teacher?
I am actually a teacher. I don't hold any
because
position.
This is a calling, remember?
That's very true.
As a teacher, as an employer and as an owner of a school, what do you think of my concerns in my teachers? Because like now, takambonzwa vamwe zvichinzi vamwe baba vakapenga pavakanzwa mwana achiti when I grow up I want to be a teacher. Vakati, you want to be munhu asina mari? What do you think about the teaching profession?
All right. I think the teaching profession, if you go there looking for money, you won't find it. But if you go there to create a product, you will really make money. To be honest, itikapiwa mkana can start afresh, I'll still be a teacher, because with the value I've created, because chinotanga, it's passion. Are you doing it to change someone's life? Do you know that when you change someone's life, there are downstream benefits that are going to accumulate to your account? So in most cases, people are becoming teachers because of the convenience, because of the economic hardships they are going through. But rather, I take teaching to be something that is compared to being a pastor. You are giving someone a life. But I believe that teaching still has more value than other professions, because people are doing it the wrong way. People are not creating the product that people really want. People are just getting into class. After coming out of the class, they want money. But if you get to meet someone, what is it that you are going to live with them? As they go, are they going to testify? As they go, are they going to still mention your name? So there are circumstances where I was called, teacher, Brook, where I was paid $100 per hour. And I could go there and teach 3 hours. There was a time I earned $300 per hour. If I could go a week, that would mean 7 by 300. That is more than a doctor can earn elsewhere. The wage rate is too high. So teaching still has value. And I won't beat up my child because they want to become a teacher, because what is really important is to tell them the purpose of teaching, how to make money in teaching.
How do you make money in teaching? Because if you are going to ask parents, vanotokudza kuti tanzwa isusu nematicha who are coming with mabooks avagadzira avakutengesa, nematicha vari kuti ndiri kuda mari yemacolors, nematicha kuti ndiri kuda dollar from every mwana yemaeke every day. But it's putting a strain on the parents. How do you make money as a teacher?
If you want to make money as a teacher, change someone's life. It starts with numbers. You change one person, they bring 10 people. You change 10 people, they multiply and bring 100 people. And the people that come on your desk, so long you execute your duties properly, so long your handling, personal handling is on board, you always make money. Because we have a challenge whereby people are concerned with how much are they getting, but they are not concerned with what are they giving. What makes someone drive from Mandara or see other locations where there are teachers to come to Warrenburg? Because I've taught my directors, prominent people, maybe I can't mention for security reasons, but they chose to come per garage, pasina kana chair, pasina chi, to say I'm coming for that guy. Don't worry, I want to pay. So you can only become better and make money if you are going to change someone's life. Because those people, they preach a good gospel that will bring you clients.
Katiso, Bishop, you said nickname uti Bishop, riri kubva pakuti matalents acho akawanda.
That's very true.
Watara nyaya yebhora.
Sure.
Kuchechi watengerwa sutu namainiko yakanaka ya tinoziva vakomana vemuchechi muchita zvakawanda, vamwe vanoimba vanoridza unoita sechi. Ndeipi imwe talent yekuti unoti iyi can actually mean zita rekuti Bishop kuti ndakaripirwa zviripo?
Yeah. Music. I love music. I really love it. And I'm a worshipper as well. That has been my strength throughout church, and it's one thing that I always did, and I can dance, like dance.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to dancing. I think we are going to see you dancing here. Vana vechikoro ngavagadzirirwe kuti mukuru wechikoro muridzi wechikoro anodhensa. So kuchechi matiita madance moves ekunzi aiwa kune vakomana vanotamba pachechi.
Yes. By the way, like I said, ndinopinda FM. Pataita maprovince tiri kuharare north ndokwandaimbophindira. Ndaiwanzodedzwa pamwe taimba because I could speak different languages, so paitwa mapractice papa. Can someone do a Ndebele song? Can someone do a Sutu song? My dialect was better, despite kuti pamwe munhu anenge achigona kuimba kutondarika, but when I did it, it was more better. So I became an option for joyous songs, kumatedzera pamachurch, all that. So at the same time, ndaiti kana ndisiri that role, with my confidence kazhinji I could be told iwe chienda unobhitisa madances just like zvinoitwa makwaya. So by so doing, I had to expose myself to the likes of Dokas Moyo, taipinda tese church. So I could dance kati. So when can you come? I need to see you. So that's how I got to know Mama Dokas Moyo. Ndo pawakandidedza akati we are establishing a musical group, so can you come? So pandaienda ikoko ndaimba tena. She's actually a good mother, because kwandiri vaitonditoro semwana zvikanzi zvaita sei. She's someone akaita.
And then you are Katiso Moyo.
Yes.
This is Dokas Moyo.
It was just a coincidence. My daisy always said to Mama Lova. I'm assuming she got married vakachata, then she inherited the surname. Yes, but we are not related in any other way. So takuenda mapractice. So vaiwanzobhuka kukangonzi maservice pangu kune marevival, vaienda vachinoita guest ikoko. So as we could go to the guest, panguva dzekunakidza vanhu ndaibva ndapinda ipapo ndaipinda. So I became a favorite zvakanyanya as a dancer, zvekuti role yandanda kutopiwa tikabheka as backing vocalist,
toenda pamberi
kunotamba. So
saka makumba aya aitamba bhora anotambawo futi zvakare mumanzi. And where was this? Pamakasangana Dokas Moyo?
My Dokas Moyo takasangana 2017. Yes, that's 2017. Ku Church FM Harare North ndopa takasangana.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm now married.
I'm now married. Married with kids?
Yes, I have 2 kids. My firstborn, she's actually 6 years. My secondborn is actually turning 3. Yes.
What is it that you learned from marriage yababa nemarriage yamukoma? Ngokuti unoti inini, if you know, when I was preparing for marriage, I was saying no to this. Zvawakaona kune marriage yababa neyamukoma.
Yeah, I think that is my fear. The fear is whatever that transpired to my dad, my brother, does not repeat itself in my life. That is always my prayer, that if fighting was a norm, then to me it's not. If hatred was a norm, it's no longer a norm. So I think I'm trying to capitalize on their mistakes, because I saw it all. I saw the purpose of their marriage is it imwe yacho yanga iri convenience, and throughout you are not perfect, haugone pese, but you try by all means to be a good father, you try by all means to be a good husband to your spouse. So I'm really intrigued for sure to say I'm not going to adopt zvakaitwa naningi, but there's one thing that I've learned from my father: responsibility. Yes, sacrifice. I've learned it from him, and I still carry it with me that kunyangwe ndikakanganisawo ABCD, I need to make sure that my child doesn't become an old version of me, but they become an advanced version of me. So that's what I learned from my brother. Despite his flaws, weaknesses, he had a strength of giving.
You are saying that your brother was generous, but he just didn't want to channel that generosity towards your schooling.
Yeah, which was my surprise then, which was something short chandinetsa kuti would you meet your friends achiti tasangana nablazi wako watoti padola. You see, pamwe pacho wambokumbira komba ndipewo muzanda mari, blazi yake kana ine mari hasi munhu anonyima, hasi munhu akaomera and all that. So down deep I know pamwe pacho irresponsibility yemunhuwo, pamwe zvakakosha harisiro zvakakosha to someone, but I think ndo chimwe chinhu chandakadzidza chekuti there was a time yekuti unotonzofambawo kune vanhu vakachinja upenyu, vakatoitirawo zvakanaka. So he might have also had loopholes with me, but he's still my brother because no one's his son in terms of weakness and strength.
So Katiso, tiri kuona panapa mukomana wekuti from your story you went through zvinhu zvekuti munhu anoti wow, you went through that, but here you are standing.
Sure.
What is it that you want to say kune vanhu vakateerera kuti chauri kuvasiyira chaita kuti usvike pauri nhasi?
Yeah, I think zvese zvingainga munhu, whoever you are, whatever you want to become, I think it all starts with getting rid of fear, because fear obscure expectations, obscure good outcomes. I can confirm that when I was afraid, I never solved anything. But I think once one overcomes fear of whatever that surrounds them, what tomorrow might bring, that is when they start to become better. That is how they discover and explore the strength that is hidden within them. So above all, I just believe that munhu wese ukaita chinhu uine perseverance, uine expectation, above all God, because zvese tingaita, but I believe unoisira pasina, because the moment you lose God, you have lost everything. And at the last standing point, God is the only spirit that is on your side. So to those that would want to try, I believe there is no harm in trying. It's only fear that stops us, and they can make it so long they are willing and active in it. I would really love to thank my father, of course. He's still there. He guides me. He sometimes tells me, don't make mistakes like what I did. And he inspires me in so many ways, because with his age, mistakes, there are times where you are about to make a mistake, he reminds me, look what I did, look how my marriage ended, and you can't take that same step. So yeah, I would want to thank my mother. I would want to thank my Nico for being the only person who was there when I needed certainty, space for improvement. I would also want to thank my wife, because behind every successful woman there's always that
Wi-Fi nako yava successful here
no, she never came
Yeah.
when I was she came when I had nothing, and I would want to thank her for believing and trusting in me, and above all I would want to thank God for gracing me with all that I had till date. And I believe that He is still to do more wonders in my life. And all that, those that believe in me, some of them, I might not know them, but maybe they are praying for me.
Nevakomana vemalunch box ekwarusape.
Yes,
I'm thanking them on your behalf. And you know what? I wanted to say and their mothers, because I'm sure they started putting extra food. Mwana imboenda 2 pieces out of mama ndikuda 5 pieces, and you're like, you're eating 5 pieces. Maybe some of them wakatotaura kuti just put ndine friend yangu. So we want to thank vanhu vese vavo vakakubatsira katiso. Tinoziva kuti dzimwe nguva muupenyu panokwanisa kushaya anouya achiti ndibatsire, but patiri kuona vanoda kubatsirwa, ngatibatsirei. My Nicole, I salute you. Nenyaya yekuti dai makangoramba makangosiya, nhasi uno pamwe tisina munhu ari kupupura zvakadai muno mustudio. Tinoziva kuti kunyangwe imimi kwamuri mune nyaya dzamuri kurarama kana kuti dzamakararama. Tibatei panhamba dziri kubuda pachivhitivhiti, muuyewo musheye mastories amuinawo, nekuti anokwanisa kubatsira the next person. Musakanganwa kuti zvanzi nakatiso, fiye ndo inotitadzisa kuita achieve zvinhu kana kuti zvikuru muupenyu hwedu. Tisangane zvakare pachirongwa My Story. Zita rangu ndinonzi Stella Muusha. Uyewo imi musakanganwa kuita subscribe, like and share mastories atinokuunzirai pano.